you ready to discover who you came here to be? Welcome to the Human Design and Astro Club podcast. Human Design is a system and a tool that is here to empower you and show you your greatest potential. Come learn with us and discover who you really are. Hi friends, Krystle here. New year and new you, and boy, do we have some new tools for you to help you transform your life into the one you have always dreamed of. We have some new ways for you to connect with us outside of the show. So we have a free guide on tips and tricks to honoring your strategy and authority. We also have a language manual to your true self to help you understand the key terms in human design and how to apply them to reading your human design chart and also to your life. And we are so happy to announce doors are now open for the Cosmic Community, which is a no commitment or 5-month commitment package to connecting with us over in our private Facebook group. You will have the chance to connect with Leah and myself each month with our premium episodes through our Program Plus monthly forecast. There's also weekly aura energy updates, weekly tarot card pulls connected to a human design gate, monthly market shares for fellow entrepreneurs to share their work, and exclusive bonus content you will not be getting anywhere else from us. Come join the Cosmic Community to understand how to utilize the transits to your advantage and have a safe space to learn, grow, and connect. And we also have our children's class called Nurture Your Child Through Their Design. And our most popular classes are our variable mini classes, which are bite-sized, self-paced audios and guidebooks on the first 2 transformations. And if you want to stay connected with some education and love from us, join our email list and check out our website, which you can find that and every offer I just discussed down below in the show notes. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you over on our next episode. Welcome to the Human Design and Astro Club podcast. I'm Krystle.
And I'm Leah.
And this is the podcast you've been waiting for. And just so everybody knows, we're dancing to nothing. I need everyone to know, because maybe you don't know. This is on. Yeah. For a second, I was like,
Right. Are we recording? I sometimes dance to this song that it plays because I listen to it so many times that I'm like,
yeah. Well, that's where I'm at now. I'm like, we might as well just try to hear the song in our head.
Yeah. When's Dave going to make our intro music, by the way?
Oh, you know what he said to me? Actually, today, he said, I was like, oh, damn it. Maybe he can do that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just had a thought. But anyways, he said to me, I was watching the Human Design Diaries, which is out, by the way, friends, on our YouTube channel. If you're watching us now, I'm sure you've already seen it. But if you didn't, go to the last thing, and it's the Human Design Diaries. And so I was watching it, and he goes, what is that music? And he is low sound, wide valleys, and he's a Virgo with gate. Is he at 18 or the 58? He's got one of those. And then he's probability view and guilt motivation, just to set the tone for everybody. And he goes, what is that? I was like, I don't know. It's the music Leah put for the vlog, the Human Design Diaries. And he goes, is that just like royalty free music? I was like, well, what else would it be? He goes, oh. I was like, you want to say something? You got something? I'm like, it's written all over the tone of your voice, low sound.
Yeah.
And and your body language, and that you were like, oh, like, like this, because he is a splenic generator. So a lot of times his sacral goes, eh.
Mm.
I'm like, okay. I was like, well, what should we do then? And then he didn't say anything. So I'm like, if you want to write our music for us, that's fine. I was like, but there might be a point, might not be the first go, but maybe the second round where I'm going to do vocals. It's going to happen. I'm going to do it. It's going to happen. I used to do a lot of karaoke when I was younger. And I also sang in a lot of like plays and had solos and stuff. And when I did karaoke, there was this one time and I was like, oh, my open throat, man. I sang, what did I sing? I think it was Maps by Yeah Yeah Yeahs. That's one of my go-to, my go-to karaoke songs. And Dave's like, really? I was like, yeah. I was like, I love going, So anyways. So there's one time after that, these guys came up to me and they were like, we have a band. Would you like to join it? And then I feel like we exchanged numbers and then literally nothing came of it. But for, for that like hour afterwards, I was like, oh, I'm a rock star,
Yeah, I'm going to be famous.
in my head. In my
I used to do karaoke too at a bar when I was never good at, I'm not good at karaoke. I'm not a great singer, but I used to like to do it just for funsies.
Yeah, it is fun. It's been a very, very long time since I've done that. But yeah. So maybe he'll be, I want to say like, let's get this done before January 1st.
Yeah.
But he has a lot of songs. So he started what's it called? Not an iCloud. Something cloud.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what they are. SoundCloud?
SoundCloud. There we go. Not iCloud.
I was like, I've heard of something cloud. Yeah. Yeah. So he has one of those.
Yeah. And he's such a defined heart and just like also confused by the way people conduct themselves on social media. And he'll get super, super excited when anybody follows him. And I think he has like, and then this might be high, 15 followers. I'm not sure. And then like when they listen to it and then they're like, he's like, why didn't they like it? And I said, Dave, most people are disassociating while they're doing anything on social media. I know that you're not like that, but the majority of the population is.
Yeah.
It used to boggle my mind and still does till this day. Why follow anybody or look or watch people's stuff consistently and not respond to it? I get it. Totally get it. If there's anyone that gets it, it's me. My personal view, transferred personal view, excuse me, not my, I don't have I have the opposing end.
Yeah.
Transferred personal view comes in and is like, well, I guess I suck then. Okay. Not so much anymore. I had this one situation that came up a few months ago. I don't think I actually ever told you. I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to call anybody out. But anyways, and so after that situation, I was like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it still, it bruises the ego slightly. How could it not? But I'm like, oh, all right. That post didn't do good.
Yeah.
That reel didn't do good.
Yeah. I think that's kind of across the board at this point. We're seeing a lot of people that are like, well, I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to do this.
What's
fine.
Oh, You know what? I have a question. I was going to ask you actually before we got on here. I'm sure you have no, I'm always like defined headed nodule. Give me an answer here.
Mm,
I know that you probably don't have an answer to this, but what's going on with Instagram and back to the grids?
Like people using like certain styles so that they look
Like no, that they make a whole picture is the grid is like a grid. You know how they used to do that?
yeah. I know some people who used to use like a template on, I don't remember what app it was, like Unfold or something like that. And it would make it just look really like streamlined and pretty. It would have like designs that went from one post to another, and they
Well,
could
it's
like
just
put
like
words or something.
it's
A
just
lot
like
of
a
photographers do
picture
that
of
too.
them, like a
Yeah.
picture of them, or like a post, like a graphic that's broken up
Yeah.
into a bunch of different posts.
I'm not sure. I can't answer that for you.
Okay. Because then I also noticed along with these grids now, I'm like, I didn't get this memo. And I feel like I'm late to the party, and I don't know if I care. Cause I like, well, when these social media things start happening or whatever, I'm like, I don't really, that doesn't amuse me a lot of the
Yeah.
time, most of the time. I'm a third line though. So you tell me to like fit into a box somehow, and you're telling me I have to fit into these boxes and make these grids. I'm like, fuck that shit. You just told me it's a bunch of stuff I have to waste
Yeah.
my time doing
Yeah.
that most people will not give a flying fuck about. Let's be
You
real.
just took away my creativity.
Yeah, actually, yeah. As a third line, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've noticed along with these grids now, people seem to be going away from Instagram a lot, and they're making these grids that they're not even making posts anymore, and it's like just basically a grid redirecting them to another place.
Mm.
Like, and I'm starting to wonder, like for 2023, now that we're in 2023, well, technically we're not. I was like thinking about this earlier. We've done 2 podcasts in 2023, but we haven't actually, us, have not entered into 2023 yet,
We're not even there yet.
because last week's was the beginning on the 1st, right? And now we're on the 2nd, and we're not even actually, it's like obviously we're recording these before they come out.
Yeah.
So we're still in the past, still in 2022. I was just thinking about that. I was like, this is the second podcast we're in 2023, but we're not actually in 2023. So anyways, what was I just saying?
Like redirecting posts and stuff to other
Yeah.
platforms.
So I'm like wondering, like for 2023, because Instagram seems to be doing a lot of weird things the last few months. Like we're all noticing, and there's been a lot of glitches. There's still things that seem kind of weird. And like, I know the holiday time, like, is obviously less engagement. Um, but it just seems like it's such a hit or a miss lately
Yeah.
that nobody wants to fight it anymore.
No.
So I'm just like wondering where are we going next? Because 2023 is, as I said, like Pluto's moving in to Aquarius after like, I forget how much, it's like 18 to 25 years that Pluto moves into another sign between that time frame.
Wow.
So it's been a very long time since we had Pluto in Aquarius. And Pluto, if you look at, like the human design chart, for example, because it shows you like where the neutrino stream is like, the most, and then which is 70%, which is your sun and your unconscious and conscious sun and earth, right? And then actually I think it's about 3% or something's from Jupiter, because Jupiter is like the biggest planet, right? Don't quote me on this because I'm pretty sure I'm right, but if somebody comes for me, like, whatever. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then the rest, and especially because Pluto's all the way down at the bottom, it's like you don't even, because it's there for so long, right? And because it's not like a large amount of neutrinos that we're receiving from it, if you're not paying attention, you might miss it. Like you might miss It's always there in the background. It's like, it's what's hidden. It's what's underneath. That's what Pluto represents. It's the darkness. It's the new ruler of Scorpio. Think of the flavor of Scorpio, right? And so, but when it moves into a new sign, it's like, whoa, something. It's like something just changed. And like, if you don't know what's going on in the transits, you'll just feel like different.
Yeah.
And so with this aspect of Aquarius moving into Pluto, it's really speaking to innovation, which I kept talking about in the program plus, and also I'll be speaking about in the yearly forecast, which is going to be a bonus for January. If you guys are interested, the cosmic community is now open. Yes, we finally named the group. It only took a month to come up with a name that, it's we wanted to keep it simple, because saying Human Design and Astro Club private Facebook community is a lot of words.
A big mouthful.
And using like acronyms, abbreviations, it takes away from the name. And also it makes people feel like they're not included.
Right.
It's like when I hear people that use like acronyms of their offers or programs, courses, whatever the hell it is, I'm like, what is it? Like I didn't, and like they talk about it like I'm supposed to know. And I'm like, when did you say the actual name of this?
Yeah.
And so we've never done that. Because, we wanted you guys to feel included, and the name kind of the offer kind of speaks to it. Right. And it holds like frequency, especially with like that we're doing human design, like I want to give you guys the name. So our new group on Facebook, if you don't know, is called the Cosmic Community. So this is a branch of the Human Design and Astro Club. That's a community that we have been wanting to start for a really long time. We've had different varieties of it throughout the last like year and a half, that we said we started a Clubhouse. That was our first little group, our first little community. And then we came on here, and it kind of felt a little like separation between us and them and you guys. And then we started a membership with a group of people, and that was fun. But I'm like, I want to connect and talk about the transits with people, see what's going on with them. Like we started the program plus, which is a monthly forecast, an extension of the program. It's premium episodes that come out every month. So program plus is now out. The yearly forecast will be out either end of this week, beginning of next. Again, we're still in the past, so we're giving the group a little bit of separation, so we're not like throwing all these videos at you guys at one time. Like maybe some of you want it, but when I'm in like groups and stuff, and they're like, and we're doing this, and we're doing this, and we're doing this every day, there's something new. I'm like, please.
Yeah.
My undefined root.
I still haven't caught up with the things you did like 3 days ago. So. And we recognize
I'm like in
that.
the Venus retreat, and I'm like, I'm behind on like a bunch of videos because they keep doing them.
Yeah.
I end up having things on these days, and they're every single week. So it's just hard to commit to weekly things like that. Like, every other week or once a month. Like I feel like my undefined root, like I also have kids. I still have Journey Through HD. Like I need a fucking break sometimes.
So we're in the group. We're not doing any like required calls or required things that we've done in the past. It's just going to be the program plus, and whatever time we might pop up on a live randomly. Like we don't have anything scheduled particularly. It just would be like if we feel like doing it that day.
We do that for this for January. We're having a party.
We are having a party.
We decided we weren't sure if we wanted to just talk about the Human Design New Year in the program plus and mention it also in the yearly forecast, or if we want to do something special with you guys that are joining the Facebook group. And we decided we're going to do something. And we're going to have a little party. You can join us live if you are in the cosmic community, or if you're listening to this now and you want to come party with us. I mean, I'm a generator. Come on. I'm going to bring the fun. I'm kitchen's environment. I'm the person you want at a party. Okay. I'm always the fun at a party. And so we're going to have a little party. We're going to celebrate together. We're going to do a little ritual. I'm giving you guys a special grid specifically for this day so you can use to create a little ritual for yourself. And we're going to be talking about Gate 41, which is the beginning of the Human Design New Year. It starts in the root. And so we're going to be talking about that and answering any questions that anybody might have as well. So if you are in the cosmic community, or if you're like, I want to come, join. It's only $23.23 for one whole month, where you get the program plus. You're also getting a bonus yearly forecast. You're getting this party. You don't have to come. You can watch it after and comment in the replays or not, or just watch it. There is literally no requirement to participate, but you'll get more out of it if you do. And there's a couple incentives for you if you would like to participate. And we'll talk about that in the group when we get there.
And
go ahead.
It's available until the 10th. So January 1st through January 10th. And then we close the doors on the 10th, and then we open them back up February 1st for February. So if you want to join us, because we want to be able to, like we've said this, we want to be able to like nurture the community that's in there. And then it just helps keep track of everything in a more streamlined manner.
Because we are the only back end.
Because we're doing Excel sheets and
like, you know, we realized how much back end work there was when we had our membership. And one of the reasons why we ended up closing the doors early, because we're like, we can't hold space for this many people. And so it just makes it also easier with Facebook to know who's coming and going, like who needs to exit, who needs to come in. So for every month, we open doors on the 1st, and you can join us in the Facebook group for one whole month, or you could buy a package for $92.92 and get 1 month for free. So that would be buy 4, get 1 free, 5 whole months for $92.92. What a deal. Okay. I have the channel The Entrepreneur. It's just funny. Like, you know, like fun. you do some, you hold back sometimes, I feel like, but when you're like fully in the channel, you're like, you're selling.
Yeah, I used to abuse my entrepreneur channel. I think it abused it too much. And now I'm being gentle with it, because I'm super excited about this group. Like I miss having community. I miss having the group setting, and I'm a fourth line. Like that's my jam. I love my people, and I love meeting new people. And when people bring people, you know, that's what's fun. And I used to pretend to be a manifestor and initiated literally everything I did. And so and
except for the manifestors.
Except for the manifestors, you just be you didn't have to be anything. But you know, I've learned, and I'm still working on it, but
we're all learning.
Yeah.
So we're really, really excited about this group. I've been getting DMs from people saying how excited they are, which then gets me more excited, because then we're getting recognized for creating such a beautiful community, which is one of the key words for 2023 is community, innovation, community, integration is another key word. I think I'm going to do keywords for 2023 on Instagram.
Yeah, do it.
Maybe. You know, my undefined root and my open head are like, we can do everything. Here we go. And then I'm like, I'm done.
I was just looking at the tarot card for 2023, and it's the Chariot.
Yep.
That's cool. New beginnings.
Yep. And it's kind of like taking everything that you just experienced and finding a new way, which is also the theme of 2023. A new way. Oh, title of this podcast.
Write it down.
I love when I come up with titles. Leah, I'm like, Leah, when you watch this over, make sure you write this down. Title, A New Way. It really is. If you think about it,
Yeah.
we're starting in gate 24 in the North Node, right? Which is all about the returning, right? That's what it's called, the returning. And so if you think about that, that's up in the Ajna, right? We start out with the 6124 in transit on the first day of the new year, right? So there's this pressure to conceptualize what's happening. And like also looking at the past, because we have retrogrades happening right now up until the end of the month that I talked a lot in detail about Mercury retrograde. I didn't realize how much I talked about that.
I mean, I feel
And
like it's pretty important though.
I went through every gate, and then we went in a few different directions with Mars, which kind of feels like what Mars has been doing to
Yeah.
us in Gemini, retrograding in Gemini. This has been awful. I just
Yeah.
but I will say, with understanding the transits, I have allowed myself to get angry and then
Yeah.
apologize
Yeah.
because I know what's happening. If before I would just, because I'm an Aries moon. So when Mars goes retrograde, my emotions go in 12,000 different directions. I have an open solar
Yeah.
plexus. I already
And
apologized to
is it
Leah
today that we're
earlier.
recording that Mercury is now in retrograde?
Yep.
Yeah. So,
In Capricorn. So, I feel like when it's retrograde in Capricorn, which actually, and I'll talk about this in the early forecast, all of the retrogrades for 2023 for Mercury, all of the Mercury retrogrades are going to be in Earth signs. Isn't that
interesting.
interesting?
Huh.
Yeah. And so right before Mercury went retrograde, and it's so funny that you know about this. My husband doesn't even know that there's no water in Asheville because we don't live in Asheville. We live right outside of Asheville. So we missed the cut of where there's no water. And
Mhm.
like I found out when I went to Target the other day, and then I got an email. Actually, you know how I was saying I was going to change my kids' pediatrician appointment. They called to change because they have no water. So I was like,
Crazy.
okay, I was going to change it anyways.
Yeah.
So it's great. But if you think about it, that's an earth sign in retrograde, right? Because we've been having the shadows.
Mhm.
Um, shadows last about 10, 11 days before the planet goes retrograde. And so I was like, earth, no water, no resources, right?
Yeah.
And so that's and like cut off of communication of these
And
resources.
all of the like storms and freezes and Arctic
Mhm.
bursts and all of
All
the crazy weather that we've been getting all over the
for the last
place
week. Yeah,
for the last week.
that is
Like,
Mercury retrograde in Capricorn.
just, I mean, you don't have to believe in astrology. You just look at it happening.
It's literally when people are like, what grinds my gears since
I
since we
almost
have
choked
gate
on my tea.
since we have gate 58 currently in transit while we're talking, not for you guys. Is that people that one are into human design, one are into the transits, into the incarnation crosses, into the cycles, all of it, but yet don't believe in 2027
Mm.
or don't want to know about it. I'm like, bitch, it's already happening.
Mm-hmm. What's happening?
We're at the beginning. This is the beginning of the end.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not to scare anybody. People, I don't see that's the other thing that grinds my gears is the people that have the fear with it. I'm like, what is there to be afraid of? If you look, first of all, go, and here comes my 44. Go take a history lesson. Okay. Go open a history book and you'll see that we've been shifting and changing and mutating since the beginning of fucking time.
Mm-hmm. It's always going to happen. That's what
You
we're here to
can't
do.
stop it. It's not a bad thing.
Nope.
It's just different.
Yep.
And different and change is fucking scary. But I guess because I'm a third line and mutation is just who I am, I'm in the quarter mutation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. No, I forget. Was I born in that? No, I just totally forgot. Yes, I think. I get like brain farts when when I see recording for some reason. It's like everything falls out of my head. But anyways, so yeah, that grinds my gears a lot because I'm like, then why are you even paying attention to this?
Yeah.
Like human design, like or the transits if you don't believe in 2027.
Yeah.
So, and if this is you, I don't know what to say. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I also am. So,
Well,
just like it's okay. We're going.
we're
You,
going
you
there
we're
anyway. It's
we
happening. We're
it's
look, we're almost in
happening. It's all
2023. We're
it's all
here.
we're here for you guys. We're in 2023.
You're
But
already there.
it's happening. We're seeing the shift. We're seeing everything crumble. The cross of planning is ending currently. We're seeing all the systems crumble. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, it's fucking scary. Like the thought of having like, you know, no government or something to help us, even though we all feel like they're not helping us. But, you know, there's people that are like, could you imagine what it would be like if there was no order? Because
Yeah.
that's kind of, we're heading into, I guess, a new order. Don't we? None of us know what that's going to really look like. We
Mm-hmm.
can speculate. We speculated in the 2027 class that we did. That was such a hit. Like everybody had so many great questions, thoughts, like lots of mouths dropped
Yeah.
open while we were doing it. And it was a good time. And the reason why I think people really enjoyed that class so much is because we started at the beginning. How can you not really truly understand what mutation is as a human being through the global cycles if you've never known where the beginning even started and what that looked like for us?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we didn't start at the very, very beginning because that would have been like
I've done like a 5-hour class. Or probably.
probably like a 10-hour class. Um, but we started at the cross of rulership, which was before the cross of planning.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at that, you look at like the kings and the queens and the pharaohs that really ruled during that time, and they were all manifestors. You kind of can see the shift that happened when we turned nine centered. And it's important to understand where that's why I wanted to start there, was because to see the transition of
Mm-hmm.
when we went from 5 to 7 to 9. And like now, these new beings that are coming in, they're going to get another center. And who knows what any of that's going to look like. And we're going to be in these more penta style communities. So anyways, I'll go on it. We'll end up doing a class, and I'm going to stop talking about it because also people, get weird about it. And I'm not trying. And here's the thing. I know I'm being kind of insensitive, I guess is the word. And I have an open solar plexus, so that will happen. It just will. I recognize it. Just because I'm just like, we don't need to get so I'm sorry for the emotionals, but we don't need to get so emotional about it when nothing's happened yet, but yet things are happening. And it's just like, just watch it happen, just let it happen. There's nothing we're going to be able to do about it except to have support. Like, we're going to need to find our people right now. And that
Mm-hmm.
is one of the biggest reasons why I came online, to create community. And of course I find a 2-4 to help me do that. And this is the year. Like, I can feel it. I can feel that this is the year that we are truly going to grow a community of people that need support. We have the channel of the entrepreneur, the channel of struggle, not the channel of struggle. I don't have the channel of struggle. I feel like I do.
Some days.
The channel of surrender. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was reading, because half of the channel of struggle is in at the beginning of the year. So when I was going through stuff, so it's still in my head. Anyways, so we have the 4426, which is the channel of surrender, and it's here for support, to support the community or the tribe. I feel like we've kind of, I totally appreciate, you know, the indigenous culture, and I feel like, to say things correct with the circuitry, like I have to say tribe sometimes. So I'm always trying to be, again, I'm insensitive and super sensitive at the exact same time. Makes no sense. I have an open solar plexus. But, we're here to support the community. And so that's what we wanted to create for 2023, because we see that community is going to be a huge aspect for 2023, as well as moving forward into 2027. So if you're interested in joining the cosmic community, you can do so now. Doors are open, like we said, till the 10th, and then they'll close briefly until the 1st of February. And so it's only $23.23. And what you get is the program plus that you'll be able to watch in the group, and also the guidebook that you'll be able to download and you can use. You can print out the grids. There's a whole bunch of fun stuff in there. And then you're also going to get weekly aura energy updates for each of the human design types. I've been doing them in our weekly email, but it was feeling like I was losing momentum with that, and it was feeling like I needed to go into a new place. And so when I saw us doing this group, I was like, what would be really fun is if we made each individual post for each of the human design types. And so that way people can comment or share their experiences for that week, how that energy aura update resonated with them, and also to connect to other types that are similar to you or different from you in these posts. And it's something that, again, I want people to feel like they're connecting to each other. It's not just to us, it's to you, to all of you guys finding your fractals. Like, I feel like we're starting to see people that really resonate with who we are. And I want to bring those people in and nurture and care and support them. And so you're also going to be getting Tuesday tarot polls, which Leah is going to be doing. I'll also share a spread in the comments section, which will invite you guys to do the same if you feel inclined. And so Leah will also be connecting the spread to the human design gates, just like we do in the program plus. And so it's a fun way to learn about the human design gates and then expand upon it through tarot. And then we're also doing monthly markets posts at the end of every month. We'll be allowing people that, a lot of you guys are entrepreneurs, so we want to support you guys in that as well. And for you to be able to put out your offers in a safe space. And so we'll be creating posts at the end of every month for all entrepreneurs to share their offers with our community and connect to more people like you. And I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, we do. Like I said, we have the yearly forecast also in the January group as well.
Yep.
And
we'll have some
bonus
exclusive content inside the community that we'll announce later.
Yeah, there's a lot of exclusive stuff that you guys will be getting. But it's a pretty good deal for 1 month or 5 months for a very affordable price. And I know that, for some people, throwing around an extra $20, maybe not. But I'll tell you, when you invest even a little bit into yourself, it expands and grows. I'm constantly trying to find ways to fuel other parts of like the human design community, spiritual community, astrology. I just did an astrology class so 2 weeks ago. I'm always learning. I'm a first line, so I'm always wanting to learn. I'm kitchen's environment. I always want to connect with other groups of people. And so this is just a really fun way to feel like you're not alone in your process, and you're also learning and growing too through the transits, which is a big part of who Leah and I are, like at this point in our lives. Like, it's just like allowing the transits to guide us. And so we want to give you guys education and support in one space. So join us. There's a link in the show notes. You'll have till the 10th. Meet us in the group.
Yay.
So let's talk about the beginning of 2023, right? Because last week we just started, right? Sunday, we just entered into 2023. And to be completely honest, as I'll share in the yearly forecast in the group, we're really not going to enter into 2023 until the end of the month, really February. Like I keep saying February. February feels like a really big opening. So I am very excited for that. But let's talk about this week. So we start off the week on January 2nd in a state of trial and error with a focus on pressure. And this is a root pressure to fuel the fighter, as I was just talking about with the channel of struggle. So, a good question to ask yourself at the beginning of this year is what is worth fighting for with trying to combat the fear of the unknown? Sounds about right for the beginning of the year. And it's grounding us in the other side of fear, which is our emotions. And this is our emotional pressure to provoke the spirit that is then going to allow us to focus on what is worth fighting for. That is such a huge part of the beginning of this year. It's like we're trying to wake ourselves up to 2023, which we really won't feel awake, like I said, until the end of January or beginning of February, which we get, like I said, we get into in the program plus. And we still have this tremendous head and mental pressure to figure it all out. All the open heads are like, I can't stop thinking right now. Listen, today I woke up at before 5 a.m. and I sat there in my bed while I was listening to my generator husband snore and also my little generator nudged up against me. I just sat there thinking and thinking and thinking. And then eventually I had a few epiphanies, but I'm also like, I don't want to think anymore. But too late. This is where we're at. But actually, it goes out at the end of the week. So for all the open heads. Anyways, this is a time for everyone to get quiet while we still have Mercury in Capricorn, retrograde, and Mars in Gemini, retrograde. There is no rush. What they're trying to say, what these planets are really trying to say to us is there is no rush to figure out or do during this time with this energy. Okay. Just like, again, we're just like rolling into 2023. Like I said, we're all kind of on our backs. Planets are going to try to push us up the hill, and we're going to kind of teeter totter back and not quite be ready to go until the end of the month. So late Tuesday or early Wednesday, depending on where you are in the world, we get a brief emotional surge on our past experiences and how they are pushing us to express these feelings that we might not even be able to see clearly or even have the right words to say them. But it's going to be important to kind of like look at that period of time and say, you know what? I just went through some shit in 2022. And this might be the time to talk about it. Okay. Late Tuesday, early Wednesday. All right. And then Thursday, we get a new program with a focus on our drive to move through and intuitive pressure. And we're being grounded in a new beginning, which is setting us up for the full moon Cancer on Friday. So this is a sensing and a transition for change that's coming in with this new program. There could be even a sadness for change because like we were just talking about, change is scary. And so this is saying it's time to seek a new beginning. And that is really the theme of this Cancer full moon. So let's go ahead and get into Friday and talk about what this full moon is all about. So this is the first full moon of the new year in Cardinal Cancer. Okay. So Friday, the 6th, we are getting a full moon Cancer that's asking us where we're going and where we've been 6 months ago. Where were you 6 months ago? And what were you trying to start during that time? How did we want to feel in this next life chapter that is beginning right now? Because a lot of times during the new moon, it's like, try to look forward at where you want to go for the next 6 months. When you're in the new moons, you want to look forward, create some goals, plant some seeds for what's to come for the next 6 months. And then once you get to the full moon,
That's where you can actually create it. That's where it can actually manifest. This is happening in the moon and the earth. And the earth is really where we materialize. Okay. It's really where we can hold the energy. So, right now, you want to hold the energy of Cancer. Okay. The sign. Okay. In astrology. I want to make, sometimes I like forget to write Cancer astrology and then I see a whole bunch of stuff. But, anyways, we're not going to go there. We'll go on a weird tangent. So, anyways, Cancer. Cancer is a cardinal water sign that is represented by the crab. Hard outer shell, but soft interior. And this is connected to the body and the home. And this is a pressure to begin right now. That's what this full moon's going to be all about. We're feeling it, right? We're feeling it. Beginning of the year, this is appropriate. This is the program that we feel at the beginning of the year. A pressure to begin right now, which nobody wants to. And the astrology says no. Okay. I mean, do whatever you want, but I'm just letting you know. So, what do you need to close out for 2022? This is the time. This full moon saying, I'm going to complete what I set out for 6 months ago in 2022. Do it during this full moon. And that might also be a good journal question. And contemplate on this. What do you need to close out for 2022? You can still do it just because we're, a few days in. We're not feeling it yet. So close out where you were 6 months ago. So full moons are all about completing and releasing something. So what is the time right now is to release and begin to look at and look towards your future. If you want more information on this, then definitely join the Cosmic Community on Facebook. There's a link down below, as I said, in the show notes, so you can watch the program plus in the Facebook group and then be able to connect to us and talk about what you experienced during the month of January. And we'll be also creating a post for the full moon as well. So if you're in the Cosmic Community, look out for a post on the full moon so we can share our grids. We can chat about our experiences, chat about what we're trying to complete, and we can all help co-create together. That's one of the goals that I want for this group is to co-create together. So an important thing to look at with full moons or with new moons or full moons through these cycles is to look at where do you have this sign in your chart. So where is Cancer in your chart? What is also in your fourth house? Because the fourth house rules Cancer. So what planets do you have in the fourth house? What sign rules that house for you in your personal chart? And then also see, like I said, the planets that are in Cancer for you. Are they hanging out with anybody else? And where do you see this aspect in your chart? And also, if you can also look at the opposing end, which would be Capricorn, because they are connected. So another thing I never say is you can look at the opposite end on the axis. So that would be Capricorn. Like I'm a rising Capricorn. So for me, there is going to be an impact with this full moon. So it's important to just kind of and see where everything falls in your house placements with this, and then what gates you have connecting to this full moon that we talk about. We explain all this to you with the gates in the program plus. So that's pretty much what's going on for the new year. Not a whole lot. Like we have full moons all the time, and there's not like a huge or a whole lot of shifts, but we're kind of just feeling at the beginning of this week a little sluggish. Like we feel ambitious, but we're not ready to take action yet, which is really the beginning of this month is settle. Like there's another astrologist that I like to hear her reports for, because I also want to preface, I'm not an astrologer. I read human design and I use astrology in human design. And I know a lot about astrology, but I just don't like to consider myself to be an astrologer because I read the human design chart with a lot more ease. but I know a lot about astrology and I definitely know how it connects to human design. But I also like to hear from astrologers. And so there's one astrologer that I follow that she said for her business, she's not even beginning, she's closing out her her business from the end of the year to like mid end of January. Like she's doing nothing. And like all of the people on her team, they're on vacation. I was like, good for you for like really honoring that. Like, yeah. So yeah, that's what's going on at the beginning of the year and the first week of 2023.
Well, the cards say the exact same thing. So goodbye. No, I'm just kidding.
You don't
So
need to know anymore.
So we're just done here. And I pulled the Queen of Pentacles. And so for the YouTubers, here's the picture. One thing I noticed after I was thinking about this card is, I'm going to put it up close, but the vines and stuff, these are all like dead vines that have a few new baby roses that are growing on them. The Queen of Pentacles represents getting through some hard times and getting through kind of like, not like a dry spell, but maybe things weren't really going super awesome. Things were kind of like going away, or you were getting rid of, old ways or limiting beliefs, or things maybe just seemed like they weren't really growing. It felt like kind of a dry spell. Like you think about, I don't know, this could be really basic, like farming, like you plant your seeds, you water them, and you wait. So it's kind of like that waiting period of things to start growing. Because on the bottom of the card, there's all sorts of new flowers that have grown up. There's rabbits, which represent fertility and abundance. And she's draped in green, which is also abundance. And she really represents looking around and seeing how far you've come and recognizing yourself for all of your accomplishments that have come so far, and not just necessarily jumping into the next big thing. Like you've said multiple times, like, how can you nourish yourself right now? How can you love yourself? Where do you need some more self-care? Do you need to take more baths? Do you need to get outside more?
Full moon Cancer, take all the
Full moon
baths.
Cancer, take all the baths. Cancer, and she's also like earthy. This doesn't have a connection to an actual sign, but she has a lot of water and earth, and
the other side is Capricorn
and the Capricorn energy. So I feel like there's so many similarities with everything that you've said. And so I guess maybe just like ask yourself, like, are you recognizing yourself for what you've done? Are you allowing yourself some rest time? Even if does feel busy, like for us, we just have some stuff going on, but we're still allowing ourselves some rest when we can. And of course it's going to come. So, and are you nurturing yourself? Are you finding that there's different places that need nurturing? Do your relationships need nurturing? Or your relationship with yourself? And how can you show yourself some extra love right now while you have some downtime, while you're waiting for the next thing to come? So that could be some questions for yourself.
This is like a good time to be with family too, because Cancer also represents family. So nurturing your family.
Definitely. Any relationship that you feel needs nurturing, you could experiment with trying that out. Of course, I'm not telling you what to do. This is just something, our suggestions.
Everything that we do on here is just a suggestion.
Just suggestions. So then I got the Star Mother, who is also about nurturing yourself. So from the book, it says, you are held. Sorry. No, it doesn't. You are more held. You are more held than you could possibly imagine. Loved and cherished so dearly that if you knew, you would not spend 1 second of your life in separation, worry, or fear. Let the mother carry your burdens. Let her rock away your fears. Lay all your worries, regrets, shame, and guilt on her altar. Please, please, sweet child, do not fear. You are love in motion. If you allow it, you are already healed. Let her remind you of your goodness. Let her love away your fears. Your capacity to love and hold others is limited to your capacity to love and hold yourself. Be compassionate with your sweet body, mind, and soul. Treat yourself like the beautiful spirit that you truly are, and remind yourself that you are doing your best, and try not to carry it all on your own. You have this, and the mother has got you, or your mother. I'm not sure if
It also, I mean, Cancer actually also represents the mother.
There you go. So
maybe you were just trying to say that.
The mother. Let her broad arms take away your burdens. Let her lift the weight of the world off your shoulders, and forgive yourself, my dear sweet child of the earth.
Wow, that's such an accurate card.
Yeah,
both of those. Wow. I mean, they're always accurate, but that was really,
that was really accurate.
Yeah, for all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then thinking about Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, which is also going to be influencing this full moon. So yeah, there's a lot of take it easy, man. Self-care is the way to go this week. That is the theme of this week, self-care. You do not have to rush into 2023. That's what this full moon's trying to say to you. Yeah. Settle down, man. Settle down and just allow yourself to breathe. And if, again, you need support, you know where to find us. We'll be in the Cosmic Community. You can sign up down below. You'll have till the 10th. And we hope that you roll into this new year with a little bit of love and care and grace and no rush. So I guess we'll see you over on the next one.
I'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Krystle and I are really here as defined hearts to provide value to you with our unique insights. If you have found any of this episode valuable to you, we ask that you share with a friend, tag us with a highlight on Instagram, and write us a review so we can reach more people. Human design and astrology are tools to guide us toward our transformation. You are a unique and beautiful being, and we encourage you to let that light inside of you shine bright. See you in the next episode, friends.